All right, we are back at the 27-mile mark on Mount Laguna, and I believe that it is a lot cloudier. It was a lot clearer the other day, but today is very cloudy and foggy. I do believe that if I climb high enough, we are going to go west instead of east this time. We might be able to get on top of the clouds, and that would be a sick view. Let's see how it turns out. All right, so I did my best. I've just been marching up this hill of wilderness. I've been trying my best to go up, but like I'm running out of time before I have to get to school to walk back. The clouds are way too high, so I'm gonna hike back down to the trail, and there's a little stream of water that I think is gonna be a cool spot to hang out. It looks like it's raining, but it's really just the cloud is having little water droplets form on the leaves, the pine leaves, and it's dropping down. So today I want to talk to you about the abundance mindset and the scarcity mindset. If you haven't already watched Casey Neistat's Rich versus Poor video, he talks about problems that you have as a poor person and how money can solve all your problems. I saw a response video to that video essay by Jeremy from Financial Education, and he talked about how being poor, he had a scarcity mindset, and being rich, now he has a abundance mindset. And at first I didn't know what that meant, but then he kind of explained it. So a scarcity mindset would be something like, I'm in a new math class. My whole life I've had no problems with math. I've always understood it so easily. But then, you get into calculus and you run into these equations and these formulas that just you don't understand. And you're like, well, that's the extent of my thinking power. I can't go any further in math because it just doesn't come naturally anymore. That's a scarcity mindset on how much you can learn. When the reality is, if you just put in the effort, having a growth mindset, then you'll be able to learn those concepts just through hard work. And it's not really saying that there's unlimited scaling to how much you can know and how much you can learn. It's more just that the limit, you think it's low, but it's just so much higher. Like there is a limit, but it's way higher than you think. Another example is like financially, you're like, there's only so much money to be earned out there, which is true, but the limit isn't at 30 grand, 100 grand, $1 million. There's the limit is millions and millions of dollars for you. Maybe some other people, the limit's at billions. Maybe some people, the limit is at 10 grand per year. Those are the people who are living in Africa or in Iraq, a war-torn country, or Venezuela, I should say. The limit to how much money you can make in a year is way higher than you probably think, and I think. I've had a scarcity mindset, financially, spiritually, thinking that my limit of self-control is only here when it's, the ability is up here, So, yeah, just to reiterate that, it's not that there's no limit to how much you can go. It's just that the limit's so higher than you think about. It's an abundance mindset. That's a positive thing, because when you realize there's so much more money to be made, so many more relationships to be had, so much more things you can grow in, like your knowledge of mathematics. I don't like math, but you can, if your degree in college that you're going for requires that, you can study and learn those concepts with hard work and discipline. Oh, physical. People, like, the limit isn't at Channing Tatum for you, but it might be a lot better than where you are right now. Like, if you have a scarcity mindset physically, then you think, oh, I'm doomed to be a fat person forever. But everybody has a set of abs. Let's put it that way. You can have a six-pack. Yeah, so I think having that abundance mindset is really important for growing yourself and and growing in every area that you desire to, including, for me, another personal one is music. I have this scarcity mindset that I can't learn the guitar, but I picked up the guitar the other day for the first time in my life, and I started playing it. I'm like, I can learn this. Doing fingering tabs, I've always thought is the hardest thing, but I learned one, and boom, it's so much easier than I thought it was. And honestly, life is all about trying things, and once you figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life, it's about putting everything towards that without sacrificing your core values. And if you don't know your core values yet, I suggest you get on that just by reading things or interacting with other people. You'll start to see the effects of your core values. But it's definitely better if you know how to define them so you can defend them better. Unless you don't want to defend them, but that's something important for me. Being out here, Laguna Mountain, there's not a lot of wildlife. I just heard like a frog over there, but I haven't been able to see any wildlife. Lots of deer tracks, lots of human tracks, a couple of bear or mountain lion paw prints, definitely I saw. I wonder how the lizards live out here in the winter. It's like, do they hibernate and just hide under things? I'd love to be a herpetologist one day, studying amphibians and reptiles. But I suck at college. But the ability to get that 4-year bachelor's degree is somewhere within me. And I know that now because of my abundance mindset. So one last thing before I wrap up this video. While I was walking back to my car, I was thinking about how people think that when somebody gets richer, another person has to get more poor, as if the money has been taken. But what those people don't realize is that the economy is growing, and it's growing larger. A lot of people use this analogy of a pie getting bigger, and though you have a smaller piece of the pie, the pie is getting bigger and bigger, so you have more. And it's true if you look at historical statistics. The lowest class of America hasn't been dragged down to make the higher class higher. Everybody's going up, and the standard of living is going up. And some people are just, it really reveals how greedy they are when they get mad at people's success in earning lots of money. And the funny thing too is that these people who earn lots of money, the reason they're making so much is because everything they make, they put back into their business or other businesses and diversify and invest. And that makes them more money. And half the time they're job creating. I mean, people are mad at Walmart and Amazon when they're creating millions. I'll say hundreds of thousands of jobs. I'm not sure, maybe millions, I don't know, but hundreds of thousands, I'll go with that. There's no reason to be mad at them, especially with the low prices. I mean, come on. They are doing an amazing job in improving the quality of life of everybody in America. And things are so much easier now because of Walmart and Amazon. No reason to be mad at them. That's greedy. You should be happy for another's success. Having a scarcity mindset, when you see somebody else's success, that's your success taken from you. But when you have an abundance mindset, knowing the knowledge, a realistic mindset, there's so much out there. They succeeded. That's just evidence that you can go succeed. There's enough to do that. A transaction doesn't have to be you losing something. In fact, it never is just you losing something. You give away money at Subway to get a Subway sandwich. You've gained that Subway sandwich. And honestly, I'll pay $5 for a sub sandwich rather than having to go out to the field, find myself some wheat, go to a mill and grind it up and go hunt down a freaking cow to get some meat to put on a sandwich and grow tomatoes. No, that would cost me thousands and hundreds of thousands I don't know how much it costs, but it'll cost me a lot of money rather than, and time. You could just go to Subway and pay $5 or let's say it's overpriced $10 overpriced? Would you rather go out and find the wheat and make the bread and cook it and get the meat and get the vegetables? And anyways, I think it's really important to have that abundance mindset, and honestly, you're prone to be greedy if you don't, and you have the scarcity mindset, which a lot of us are just born into. But you can change it by enlightening yourself, and I guess the best way to do that is research or living in the world. I don't know, experience and expanding your knowledge. However you do that. Everybody's unique. Everybody has different character traits and skill sets, and yeah, and that makes you who you are. Thanks for watching. Peace out. It's not that hard of a fingering thing, but this is.